I'm just happy I got the disease out there so much.
Hi, I'm Tony Wagner, and heroin has affected my life for the last over 3 years. I started using drugs when I was 13 years old. It took a hold of me quickly. I started with painkillers, fentanyl, and morphine, and as soon as I got introduced to heroin, it was like heaven. I fell in love with it. And once you do it for so many days, you get sick to where, I mean, you can't get out of bed without it. You have no energy. I wouldn't even be able to go to school or work in high school if I didn't have a fentanyl sucker in my mouth or something. And then that led me into shooting up heroin, which since then I have lost, of course, all these friends. I've lost custody of my son. In 2010, March 19th, I woke up in the hospital. I had went with a girlfriend that I had met in my drug chestnut rehab group, outpatient group, and we had decided we wanted to get high afterwards to go get my medicine from the pharmacy. So we went to the pharmacy and got my Xanax out, and that's all I remember. And then I remember waking up the next 3 days later in the hospital. My mom told me I'd been in a coma. What they did was I had my baby with me, and he was 1 year old, and I guess I took the Xanax and I blacked out, and I guess they told me afterwards that I shot up $60 worth of raw heroin and a fentanyl patch, which obviously is gonna shut your respiratory system down. Well, they didn't want to call an ambulance because they didn't want to get in trouble. So they let me lay in their bedroom for like 30 hours. And then finally they found my mom's phone number and called her, and my mom said if they didn't call an ambulance, she was going to send the cops to their house. And so what they did is they took all my clothes off me, made sure they took my Xanax out of my purse, and threw me in their front yard. And my 1 year old was inside the house. And by the time the EMTs got there, they said if I would have been there for 2 more hours, I would be dead. I would have been dead. I had kidney dialysis. I was in intensive care for 3 weeks. I had to do occupational therapy to write. I had to walk. My whole body was swollen up. They took custody of my son. I would just say what I want to say is this starts very young. Addiction starts very young, and we need to teach our kids self-respect and self-love and self-esteem, so whenever they get to the age where they're getting offered to change the way they feel, they don't have to change the way they feel because they're happy anyway. We need to bring our kids' self-esteem up so they don't turn to drugs and get to escape their feelings. So, and also I want to say, if somebody's overdosing and you're with them, just call 911 no matter what, because you could save their lives. Don't be worried about getting in trouble. Even if you do get in trouble, you're either gonna have to live with the fact that they die on your time and you could have done something about that, or you go to jail and you still get to live. But either way, just call 911 if somebody's overdosing no matter what, because this is really ridiculous. All these people are under the age of 35 years old, and they're all dead because of heroin. It's not worth it. I'm 26 and I can't even pick up my phone to call a friend because they're all in the ground. I just also want to say that doing this rally today has really helped me see that at first, whenever they were doing the rallies, I was like, this isn't going to do anything. The only way to do anything is for us addicts ourselves to stop, because otherwise you can tell me every day that somebody's dying. That's not going to stop me from going to get the dope. But just since my Aunt Jamie got me involved in this rally, I can really see how much awareness we're raising, and maybe if the kids can learn earlier, it'll keep them away from the drugs. So.
Hi, my name is Brenda Estes. My son's name was Nathan Huey. It's actually only been a week ago yesterday that I lost my son to a heroin overdose. He started using heroin about a couple years ago. He started it, a friend got him started on it when he was in culinary school. And he went through a period of time that he thought that he was done with it. He ended up going into the military because he thought that A, he could be a hero, and B, he could put all of that behind him, the heroin abuse and everything behind him, and he could make his family proud and he could be proud of himself. So he was just now home. He had come home on the 6th of this month for a 2-week leave. He was going to be leaving for Afghanistan next month on November 5th. He was serving his country, and that's how he finally put this horrible, horrible thing behind him. On Friday, he was going to go do some running around with me, and we were going to take his little sister to school, and then we were going to go to my hometown for a going away party with all of his aunts and uncles and cousins and all the love there to support him before he left for Afghanistan. And I went down to his room. He wasn't in his room. And I went into his bathroom, and he was there on the floor. I know what it was going through his mind. I know he thought this was just one more time, and I'll be okay. I can kick this. I'm going to go to Afghanistan, and this is just one last time. I know that's exactly what was going through my son's head. I tried to save him. I tried to do CPR. I couldn't save him. I couldn't bring him back. And I want parents to know there's nothing I can say except if you know, it's called tough love. Do whatever you've got to do to get your kids away from this horrible, horrible drug. And for you kids who are thinking one time, I can just do it one time, there's no one time. There's no such thing as one time. It'll grab hold of you. It's a demon. It grabs hold of you and it won't turn you loose. It will not turn you loose. I know my son thought he could just do it one more time. And then it always turned into one more and one more and one more. Until now I don't have my son anymore. Because one more was too much. One more was just too much. But there's nothing I can really say except for just remember that the percentages of people that can recover from this are less than 5%. And that ought to tell you something. Basically, there is no recovery. That's why you don't do it to begin with. Don't ever do it. Don't ever start, because it'll grab hold of you and it won't turn loose. I don't want you to end up like my son. And I don't want you parents out there, I want you mothers out there to struggle and have a broken heart like I have right now. I can't describe the pain, I can't tell you what it feels like. But there's no one time. Just remember that, no one time. Stay away.
Hi, my name is Denise Freifeld, and I'm here today in memory of my best friend's son, Justin Daniel McHugh, who lost his life to heroin just 1 year ago today, October 20th, 2011. Justin was only 20 years old when he lost his battle with the addiction to this deadly drug. He had been through 1 or 2 rounds of rehabilitation, trying to overcome his addiction to this disease. And my message to the young people in not only this area, but everywhere, is that this is a deadly disease. It is a deadly addiction. Even one use of this horrible drug can mean the end of your life. And the children in our suburbs, not just the inner cities, but our quiet, peaceful, small towns, are finding this drug as easily accessible as a pack of cigarettes or a 6-pack of pop. It's easy to get, it's in the schools, and it's everywhere. And it's got to be stopped because it's killing our children. They think that they can try it once or twice or a couple of times, but that one next time can be that one next time too many. And what it does to one person, to one young person, it also does to parents and siblings and friends. It destroys entire families forever, because that loss is a loss for eternity. And I am here today to support my best friend in his recovery from this endless loss that he may never recover from. And I know that he is now trying to set up a foundation in his son's name to help other parents to recover from the disease of this addiction in his area, up in the far northwest suburbs of Chicago, to help other parents who have gone through losing their children to this deadly disease. And I just want to tell all the children who are trying this drug, who are thinking about trying this drug, please don't. Don't pick it up. Don't think about trying it, because it'll mean your life.